Well, hello there. Welcome back to Red Shoes Diary. I hope it. You've had an excellent day and things have went well. That you've had an awesome week. I've had one of those strange weeks, I guess. Uh, Starting last week on a Saturday, mower throws something out and it split the tire on the rear tire of the riding mower. Went to town on Sunday evening, didn't feel like cooking, so went to town to get something to eat. Went up, had a flat on the pickup. Monday morning, went down, got the mail, walked back up, looked, my spire was flat. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays was one of those days, but it all got worked out. Then it got some stuff done. Then it rained and been cold, and we was up close to 90 one day. Then it stayed down in the 50s, close down to the 30s. I think it's a little been last few days been cool. I think it got up upper 60s maybe today, middle 60s. I think it'll be back down to 40s or so tonight or something to that extent. Think we're supposed to get maybe up there 80 maybe tomorrow, then drop back down to 60s in a couple of days, back up. So it's Mother Nature's just doing what Mother Nature wants to do. And that's just simple as it gets. I sure hope she settles out pretty soon. We have a little just steady, maybe 70, 75 degrees during the day. Be nice to sneak off and go ride a little bit. But anyway, how you been? I hope it's been good to you. The good Lord's took time to talk to the good Lord. I went down to church today. I went there years ago. It's probably been, I think I figured somewhere 25 years since been down there. But little church down in what they call holler, and it is down in the holler. It is a original log cabin church. It is logs. I looked up. It's originally established 1890, so I'm sure the logs that the church is made out is chestnut oak, which a block come in years later and about wiped them all out. But turn of the century, there's a lot of them around this area. I'll talk about that a little more some other time. But it is interesting to sit in that church. I just look up something like this, and it's quite high, and the boards are just back boards, put on it. You can tell where they painted them. But if you look at the boards, you can tell they've probably been sawmill cut. They're not polished. They're not smooth. You can see where they're sort of wavy. They, like I said, painting and stuff. So probably board's been there since it's been built. I wouldn't doubt, or close to it. Maybe been replaced at some time. They actually have one hanging down from a ceiling on a chain is a coal lamp. And near the back on both sides of the church, little stander sticking out, there are two coal lamps. And they still have coal in them in case they need them. I remember at one time there used to be a wood stove up there that they used during the winter. Used to open the windows up and let the air blow through, but as time progresses, they've upgraded and they got central heat and air and stuff. It's quite interesting to know why I was sitting there. I got to thinking, looking up some, I thought, well, I wonder how many other people sit here. Over the years, looked up that old ceiling and thought about it. I wonder how many thousands of people. Because you look at 135 years, something like that. I wonder how many people have sat in them pews during that time. Have to believe some of my kin, grandfathers, great grandfathers, even back great great grandfathers, 3 generations back, 4, maybe. But I wonder, you think about that. It's part of life thinking about it. And I had a guest preacher come in today, and he got to talking, and his testimony's been on mine tail. Hope be offended it gets told. But he was talking about when 1966, he's 21 years old, and his daddy passed away. I don't remember what he said. 6 or 8 weeks later, his mama passed away, and that left him alone. He's 21 years old. Mom, dad gone. He left him alone. Well, he didn't grow up going to church. He'd never been exposed to even what you call preaching and stuff, or the Bible. He didn't have no clue about any of that stuff, really. But in them 2 funerals he went to, he said, I had to go, Mama and Daddy, and he heard that preacher man preach both times. Well, that got on his mind, got him to thinking. Sort of like old Papa Herbert, you said, young boys like young mules. Sometimes you got to peck them in the head, get their attention. So I'm a-taking it, the Lord was pecking that old head of that boat, fellers. And he said, it bothered me. He said, it kept on. He said, I got to where when I laid down at night, I'd fashion my covers and my pillows such a way that once I laid down, I couldn't roll over. I did not want to roll over and look at something because I was afraid. I don't know if I was afraid if I rolled over and looked at something would be there beside of me. He said, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure what I was afraid of. I just knowed I was afraid. He said, now I'm 21 years old, but I'm afraid. He said, so one morning I got up and said, it's pretty outside. And he said, I was still just something poking at me, nagging at me. So I left off the porch, started up the hill, and went by the old pig pen, and went by the old corn crib, and out past the smokehouse, up through the pasture, up there to the barn. He said, so I got the barn, and he said, I started walking, and he said, I'd walk to one end of the barn, and I'd turn around and walk back to the other end. Well, it sure just something aggravate me, bother me, just on me. He said, so there a little bit I come back down, I got back to the end of the barn. He said, there's a stable went in there, and the seal is what your barn sits on, and it sits right there. A lot of them seals and horses or cows or whatever will step over the seal, step in the stable. Big old piece of wood out there. He said, so I sat down on that seal. He said, and I got thinking what the preacher man said. He said, now there's a fella out there to help you. He said, if you'll just talk to him, ask him for help, he can help you. Don't matter what it is, he can help you. He said, well, that was on my mind. I got to sit there talking and thinking, I said, now, going to help me. And said, finally, he said, I sat down, and I finally didn't like this. I put my hands around my face and just started looking down. He said, now, preacher man told me that I could ask you for help. Said, you's a man that I could talk to. You's a man when I needed help. You'd come to me. You'd help me. You give me relief. You take away my fear. You find me, Lord. He said, and that's what I'm going to need. Now, I need you to help me. I need you. It's all I know. I need you, and I need you to help me. He said, buddy, I started crying. He said, I don't know how long I sat in the old barn crying and stuff, shaking. He said, but when I finally got done stuff, I knowed everything was going to be all right. I'd found some help. He said, I wasn't afraid no more, wasn't scared or nothing else. He said, I left the old barn and go back down to the house, and there's some old hickory nut trees there, and some, trying to think the other name, can't think of it. Anyways, top of tree stuff. He said, by the time I started through there, he said, something hit me, and I just stopped. He said, it's a beautiful day outside, early morning. And he said, when I did, it felt like something started from the ground up my feet like a warmth. He said, that warmth, he said, it just kept getting warmer, and right up my legs it come. And it come up through my chest, my arms, and right up my head. And he said, I've never felt that since that day, and I can't tell you what it is. But, buddy, that was just the warmest, just like I knew right then and there everything's going to be fine. He said, and I knew I had to find out more about it. So he said, I went on off that bridge and got in the house. And he said, now we was bootleggers. He said, we made and sold liquor. He said back in them days, a lot of people did. He said that's how you made a little extra money because there wasn't a whole lot of money around that time. And he said we had them old jars in there. He said I went to breaking them and pouring them out. He said, and then the days church down close by, so he said that I started going down to that church because I wanted to learn more. Got me a Bible and stuff. He said I knew I needed to know more because I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. Somehow he worded it somewhere like that, but still. He said, come find out once I got to talk to folks down that way. I didn't realize it, but neighbors and people who know me from around there, they've been praying for me all this time. I told them what went on, and he said, think about was 4 years later, 1970, he said, I got called to preach. He said, now I've been preaching ever since. He said, the reality is you just don't know what you don't know if you don't know what you don't know. And I thought, well, that's about true. Fellow don't know what he don't know. He just don't know what he don't know. Sometimes you got to sit and study on that. You might need to study on that a little more. But anyway, the reason I told that is just laid on me. It's a pretty good story. I like the way he tells it. Have no reason to doubt that man. Just listen to him talk and what I always said about himself, the way he lived, the things he did. But you know what also goes to prove? You never know where it's going to be at you. The good Lord might lay something on your heart. Yes, folks, it could be in the barn. I've heard people in barns, backer fields. I've seen people in the tractor trailers get talking off shoulder road, and they're over on the side of the road, middle of nowhere, pray and help one another. You know, never know in this old world something might light you up or get down and need a little help. Like that old feller did, he just didn't know he needed help. And only 2 times he'd ever heard preaching. Only 2 times he'd been heard about that stuff. And that was when his mama and daddy passed away. And it lay a hold on him that much, got his attention. He realized, hey, something he's missing. So hopefully if you're missing something other, and that's what it is, that this might nudge you a little bit. You never know. There might be a whole lot of people praying for you. You just don't realize it. And maybe sometimes us that do realize, maybe we need to pray a little more for a lot of people. Maybe sometimes the greatest gift you can give somebody is pray for. Because a lot of times in this world, we don't know what people are going through. A lot of people look at, oh, it's fine, I'm doing good. And inside they might be breaking, they might be physically breaking, they might be spiritually or mentally breaking, but hey, we ain't supposed to talk about it, don't reckon. And sometimes you just need that. Anyway, folks, I hope this coming week's a good week for everybody. I hope that wherever you're at, whether it's morning, noon, or night, I hope it's been a good day, or going to be a good day, or has been a good day, or you have a good night's sleep, whatever. But whenever you get around to watching this, if you get around to watch it, hope you prayed for it, loved, and good Lord's always there. You just got to take time to talk to him. But that's up to you. People talk about it all the time, but you're the one that has to finally decide that's what you need to do or how you need to go about it. And if you don't know, find somebody that can help you with it. Nothing else, holler at me. I'll talk to you about it. I ain't got no answers, but I definitely can pray for you. Anyway, folks, hope you have a good week. Take care of yourself, as always. Hope the good Lord don't take a liking to you too soon. But I hope he always is loving you, and I'm sure he does. Just try not to rile him. And as always, gotta say I'll still be.